Hey guys, Brian here from Connie's Country Living. Just coming to you today to show you my marble track, and today we're going to be stripping this down and getting it ready to have the staining done, have all the tracks all nicely finished up, and clear coating, and that should probably really send the marbles down the track. Anyways, start taking all these tracks off, and yeah, that was kind of why this actually took a lot longer of a process to build this marble track, because throughout the process I've had to think about how in the end, if something does break, how can I take it apart, how can I rebuild the track, and also being able to change it around too throughout the years. Like, I knew I wanted the doors and those kind of areas to be solid on the frame, as you will see in the end, but I wanted to be able to change around everything else. And so yeah, anyways, we'll get started. So now that we have all these screws loosened off here, now I can take this out of here like this. Forgot there was marbles in there. Set that aside, and that will be ready for the clear coating. And then there's my float trailer. And these guys here will just start sliding out like this. And see, if you watched my short just the other day, I would have been talking about the keys that I had made right here, so that it made it directional, as you saw in the short. But yeah, and all the rest of these guys here, now we have to turn this thing around like this, and now we'll start working on this part here. This could get exciting. I haven't taken these screws out since I glued all of the back tracks on here, so I'm not really too sure how it's going to react. As you can see, it's all starting to move pretty freely. So I made each one of these tracks so that they could be unscrewed just like the front ones. And they can slide out just like that. Whew, I had to take a little pause on the video there. This one here, I guess I glued a little too good. Didn't want to give up. I took a little bit of finesse just to get it back off. I have to use a little peel bond. Anyways, back to what we're doing. So yeah, each one of these tracks go into the column of the crane like that, and then I cut them out on my scroll saw like that, so that the marbles right here, when they go down, they will go down through there. And same goes with this one, but this one here was even more finesse involved. I had to breathe very carefully, very, very carefully. I spent a little bit of time making all this. Anyways, so yeah, that comes out, that sits there. Now we can come over here. We can take this center column out here like that. We can put that in behind here. But yeah, the idea too was to make notches like this so that way when it does go drop down, because there will be a switch, as you've seen in my shorts again, there will be a switch up here that spits it down and brings it down through, and then it will drop it into this disc area here, and then that will send it down, and then it will drop its way down through until it lands onto this bottom area, which will disperse it back into the main track again. Okay, so now that we have all that back area off and ready for staining, set those back there, and we'll turn it around again. Now that I can breathe a little better. It's pretty hard when you put a lot of work into something and then you're like, oh God, is it actually going to pan out? Is it going to work the way I think it's going to work? I hope it does. I wanted to show my skills too throughout this as kind of like an advertisement. So I'll be able to show the woodworking skills, show the tin skills, all of that good stuff. So each one of these tracks come off their own way. Well, there you have it, guys. Now the next step will be to stain, and I'm going to clean it all up, sand it, get it all finished up. All the tracks will be cleared up, and then I will stain it, clear it, and sand it, and then we'll be ready to reassemble it and go from there. So finally ready for staining time here, and didn't want to bore you with all the rest of it, but I got it all taped up here and went through all of the tedious process. I don't know, it was at least a week and a half of little corner sanding and just very, very, very detailed stuff. Even the taping job and everything else like that, that was an art by itself, going around each one of these posts and stuff like that, because this here slides in and out, and then also going around the rebar spool here too, and the bulldozer, and every one of the doors and the platform up here. So there's a lot of tedious behind the scenes stuff going on with everything. So let's get started. Just loving how this is coming together. Really can't wait to see this all blended in back together. It's gonna be exciting. God, that's starting to look real nice, eh? This one column here, I couldn't even tell you how long I have in this column. Couldn't even begin to figure it out. So guys, I hope you are just as excited as I am, because now we're going to start to assemble it, which feels like forever since I could assemble it last. It was been quite a little bit of tedious sanding all through these areas, everything else. And then we had the staining process, and the staining process was another whole ball game. But anyways, let's get to, so we gotta start with our column here. And this just slides in this area here. Alright, now that we have the column in, we're just gonna start sliding these pieces through. And there you have it. Now we have the back section on here, and that's looking real nice. I'm really pleased with that. So now we'll put the top plate on back here. I made this here so that it would disperse the marbles out of that elevator track. Alright, now we can spin it around. Wow, isn't that looking beautiful, eh? Holy moly. Alright, well, that's as far as we can go on that. And now I have to glue my bulldozers on in these sections here. And then I will be able to reassemble those tracks in that area. Well guys, there you have it. We finally have it done. And that there took a very long time. And for someone like me that really likes to keep going, new projects, new things on the go, holy crap. Like, every single thing to do with this project is something tedious. There's something small. There's small cutting. There's small sanding. There's small staining. It's just absolutely unbelievable the amount of problem solving that you get into by building one of these things. And I am absolutely thrilled right now to be seeing this thing where it's sitting all together, and I know now that I don't have to take this thing apart again, and the only thing left to do on it is to just finish up the elevator and make a lift in here, and then build a little switch up in here, so that way once I release the marbles out of here, this switch over here will spin. It will go back and forth, and it will kind of look like a star in a way, because it will, when a marble comes down the track, it will turn, hitting the inside right here, and then stopping, allowing the marbles to go that direction, which will allow it to come down the back track back here, and then spit out through this doorway. And then also at the same time, once it's kicked out, once that marble's gone down and it's kicked over this way, now it opens the track to be able to go down that way. And then it's going to kick another star over here, and then it will come back to that backdrop, and it'll go down there, opening the back tracks again. So as you release marbles down here, you can put up to 10 marbles up in this top section, and then all you have to do is push that button in right there, and once you push that button in, all 10 marbles can now go down the track, and when they go down, they will go one to the back section, one to the front section, one to the back, and keep going until either A, all the marbles are out of your slot up here, or B, you can just pull it back and it will stop the marbles from going. But yeah. So now we're going to send the marble down the track here and try it out. And it should be really interesting because these here, the backhoes in here, the bulldozer here, they're all rebounds. So therefore when the marble comes out of this doorway, it's going to bounce off of each individual one. And so let's try the track out. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm really thrilled on how this thing turned out. And I really can't stress it enough how grateful I am to have this behind me, because of the fact that now we, and I mean you and I, we all can move on with other videos. You know, I really question whether to drop this video here or not, but then at the end of it, I have 3 weeks involved in here. I've held up other videos on the channel, so I guess I kind of have to release this video. And I just really hope that you like this video, and can't wait to give you lots of more fun, interesting videos. Have a great day, guys.